Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. It is a beautiful Sunday morning in the middle of October 2022. We are in the Mount Pleasant Cemetery here in Toronto, and I came here to do there was a tree walk with the resident arborist of Mount Pleasant Cemetery, and so it was really quite interesting. We looked at a lot of trees, and a lot of them are like very, very old, 200 plus years old, a lot of the ones that we saw. And I thought that it's just such a beautiful day today, and the colors of the trees are just beautiful as they're changing. And I wanted to give you a bit of a glimpse of some of the trees and their beautiful foliage here at Mount Pleasant Cemetery. I want to be careful I don't step on any headstones. A few weeks ago I came here and did the cemetery walk where a member of the Mount Pleasant Cemetery staff, or actually no, she was a contractor, I think, who pointed out some of the celebrity, or not necessarily celebrity, but popular people who have been buried here in the cemetery. So that was really kind of cool. But I just want to find like a really good spot where you can see at least some of the treetops, or some of the colors at least. So in the distance there's that beautiful, it's almost like a pink or neon orangey pink tree that has changed its color. You can see how beautiful. Let's see, can I show you anything here? I'm probably gonna get lost in here. That's not good. I mentioned, I think, in one of my last videos that I was in Rosedale and on my way to the brickworks, and got lost. So I had to scrap that video because it was like crazy. That was crazy. And I even had Google Maps with me, and I still couldn't find my way out of a paper bag. Anyhow, I used to run this cemetery, so I'm somewhat familiar with it. But look at these beautiful trees, and how gorgeous. I wish I had a zoom so you could really see how beautiful they are. So there's the yellow and the green, and there's that sort of burgundy red. And look at this cool one. This is very cool. No idea what type of tree that is. Wow, pretty cool, huh? What is this called? Let's see here. There's a name. It's called a weeping mulberry. It's a weeping mulberry. Now, not all of the trees have a label on them. They're little sort of plaques that name some of these trees. So nice. I'm not going to go down there because I know for sure I'll get lost. So I'm going to go this way because I see a condo building in the distance. And I know where that's located, so that's sort of my guide. So I can always walk towards that. That's, I think, on Merton Street, which is just off of Yonge. And Mount Pleasant is on Yonge Street. It's just sort of north of St. Clair. And it goes to Bayview, actually. Or beyond Bayview, I think. Now, a lot of these trees are still pretty dark. They have their dark green foliage. So, I'm going to turn off the camera temporarily until I get to a really good spot with some more changing leaves. I'll be right back. And again, here we are. Beautiful tree. Orangey. It has an orange tone with some red. And there's a beautiful, like, burgundy tree. Or the leaves are a burgundy color. How beautiful. And it smells really good in here, considering that the leaves are in decay at this point. It smells good. Wow, this little tree here, like, how unusual is that? That is interesting. It's just sort of odd tree trunk, but it's producing these beautiful leaves. I'm sure they were green at one point. And this looks like a weeping. It almost looks like a cedar tree. This looks like cedar to me. Gorgeous. So beautiful. It's a really great day. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm up to 192 subscribers. If I can get to 200 subscribers by the end of 2022, it's all because of you guys. Thank you very much for watching and for subscribing and for supporting my channel with just by just tuning in. Thank you. We just posted some videos from New York. David and I went to Manhattan, stayed in Manhattan. We went to Coney Island, which is in Brooklyn. And anyway, we are going away soon. We're going now soon to down south. So I will record as well from there. And we love New York so much, David and I, that we're thinking about spending an extended period there, maybe next year. Now look at this beautiful tree. Like, it's gorgeous. Now that is an interesting, oops. Camera went a little bit wonky. Now these are interesting leaves. The shape of them, like, this is not something I've seen in any of my walks. Not that I necessarily look out for different trees, but this is quite unique to me, at least. It's beautiful. There's the color. You know, I'd come back here in the summer or the spring and see if any of these trees, what they look like. But I will never remember, where they are. So it's like a maze in here. Now this is really interesting. When I did the tree walk earlier today, they said that they will, get rid of dead trees and replant a tree in its place. But clearly they have not gotten rid of this tree, and there must be a reason behind it. clearly been in decay for quite some time. Okay, let's find some more cool trees. Oh my goodness. I'm wearing new gloves. These are gloves. These are sun protection. They have UV protection. Got them from Coolibar. Coolibar, and it's online, and they sell a lot of sun protective wear, UV protection. And because I'm outside so much, I aside from 5 pounds of sunscreen, I do like to wear sun protective clothing. This is some form of hydrangea, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, look at that white one just all by its lonesome. Everybody else is like purple. Oh my goodness. Look at this beautiful red tree. I don't know the background. You can hear the church bell. Must be 11 o'clock. Yep, 11 o'clock. There's a church right on the corner of Young and don't remember. Anyhow, it's just south of here. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow, wow, wow. Gotta watch where I'm walking because it's pretty leaf covered, the ground in some parts, and then there's almost like a little divot in the ground. It's easy to trip. Oh, look at this. I want to bring you here. Look at how beautiful this is. So nice. I think the Toronto Marathon normally occurs in October, and it's probably coming up soon, I suspect. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. I wish I knew the name of these trees. But at the very least, I can show you at least how beautiful they are and just include you in this fall foliage walk with me. If you don't have an opportunity to see any trees changing colors, this is like a perfect spot. So lovely. So I think the marathon might be, did it already happen? I wonder. David and I tried to go out and in Yonge Street and applaud all the runners. Oh, this is an interesting looking tree. Look at all the branches shooting out from it. Here's the trunk. You can see the trunk is not that tall, like as a standalone, because then all these branches shoot out. So beautiful, so unique. Again, this is not a tree that I see around. Now, I'm not always that observant, so maybe it is around town a lot, but it's not one that I've seen. Well, hello, little guy. Hello. Little squirrel seemed quite curious. And what are you doing? Little one? It's almost like he's following me. Yeah, he is. Little guy. Oh my goodness. Well, you're welcome to join me. No, he's not interested. Alrighty, I hear ya. Oh, see how beautiful. Yeah, so I think maybe the marathon is maybe next weekend. I like to go out and cheer them on. And we weren't here last weekend. So maybe it happened last weekend. But I remember doing that run in October. And one October I ran it, it was raining. So that's not ideal conditions for a runner, because then what happens is there's rubbing that occurs. So if your feet get wet, then they can start rubbing and you get blisters, and that's not a good thing. So one year I remember I was past the halfway point, and I was actually near my house, and David and I arranged that he would meet me at that point with another pair of running shoes in case I needed to change. Look at how beautiful this is. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So when I left home, it wasn't quite as blue skies, quite a blue sky as it is right now. It's really, really nice. Anyway, the good news was I didn't have to stop and change my shoes. He was there with shoes for me to change into, but it wasn't necessary, so that was good. Yeah, so it's sometimes, you never know what kind of weather you're going to get in October when you want to do a long run. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Oh, I'm not trying to scare you, little one. Oh, wow. It's so nice here. Sorry about that, folks. This gimbal really needs to be replaced. So we have been watching, or actually rather we just finished watching, Dave and I just finished watching Dope Sick on Hulu. And it's 8-part series. They're about an hour long each. And it talks a lot about the opioid crisis. Now I'm going to get back. So just beyond, I don't know if you can see that brick wall ahead. That runs parallel to the belt line. So I'm going to walk, and I know this blue-gray line right here. I used to follow it, so I didn't get lost when I did my runs. It's part of the Discovery Walk right here. So here we are. Does it tell us where we are? Yeah, so this is where we met for the tree walk. And here I am, yeah, so I need to get out. Let's put it best. Yeah, here you are here. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back out to the Beltline, Martin Street. Anyway, we just finished watching Dope Sick, and it's about the opioid crisis. And it was fascinating. It's based on a book that is almost like a documentary. I mean, I'm sure there's some dramatization, but as far as I recall, it is reflective of some of the characters are real, or they actors are depicting real people that had fallen victim to the opioid crisis. But what was extremely satisfying was there in Purdue Pharma was the pharmaceutical company. It was, as far as I know, privately owned by the Sackler family. And they were philanthropists, and they were really big art contributors, so they provided a lot of financial support to many museums. I think maybe mostly in the US, but it could be extended well beyond the US. Anyhow, the president of the company, his name was Dr. Richard Sackler, and he is based on the series. I haven't researched it myself, but based on the series, he was almost the catalyst that brought on the opioid crisis just by how he was marketing the drug. And yeah, it was extremely well done. That's basically what I wanted to share with you guys, is that series was extremely well done. And there was never a point where I felt bored, or that it was too lengthy, or it was, there were like dull periods in any of the episodes. It was all very well done from my point of view, and David felt the same way. We really liked it, and it was very humbling how we become dependent on good information from doctors, and doctors are dependent on good information they receive from the pharmacy companies, and so on, and how in this case it led to disaster. Well, that's a really interesting looking tree. This is probably similar to that one that I showed you just previously, with the bark branches out pretty close to the ground. Really nice. Little teeny tiny little leaves. Really pretty. In the distance there you can see some more trees changing color. It's bright vivid orange. Just in time for Halloween. Anyhow, that was a really good series. So if it's something that you're interested in watching, I would highly recommend. If you're interested in watching that type of movie, because it is in parts hard to watch, because even though it's all actors, the whole theme behind it is sad, very sad. Oh, this is another beautiful tree. Wow. And the main character was Michael Keaton. He played the country doctor. Oh my goodness, look at this tree. Wow. Wow, just so majestic. And then I don't remember the actress's name, but she played one of the opioid drug victims. She was the actress that played in Unbelievable. She was the young girl. And she also played in Booksmart. If you saw that movie, that came out a few years ago. She's quite phenomenal, I think. And I've only seen her, I think, in maybe a total of 3 movies, but her acting ability really stuck with me because I remembered her. And I don't remember her name, but I remembered when I saw her. I remembered her from those 2 movies. She's really good. And Mayor, I think her name is Whittingham. She also was in the movie. She played the mother of this girl. What is this tree called? Oh, this is a Douglas fir. Now we all know a Douglas fir. There's some dead branches, but wow, she's big. Now most of the leaves on this tree have fallen. Yeah, this one too. And here's the belt line. Oh, no entrance. Dang, that's how I wanted to get home. Because I wanted to come through this entrance. Not having it. Yeah, so that was a TV show that that both Dave and I really liked. And maybe many of you are not into this, but I remember in '78 when the very first Halloween came out, I went to go see it with a girlfriend, and I was what was I, maybe 21? 78, how old was I? 21? 20? No. Anyway, I was around 20. And I remember I took my dad's car. He lent me his car, and I went to go pick up my girlfriend, and we were all excited to go watch Halloween. And so this was, the very first Halloween. And when Jamie Curtis, the main actress, she was a teenager herself. And so we went to go see it. So the thing is, so my girlfriend and I went to go see the movie, and we're scared, and, of course, loved the movie. And so then I drove her home, and it was nighttime at this point. So I drove her home, and I was on my way home, and I was so scared from that movie that to park the car, we had a garage. But to get to the garage, to park the car in the garage, we had to go through a back alley. And I was scared to go through the back alley because back in those days, there were no lights that automatically came on when, there were no motion centered sense motor. What am I trying to say here? Light sensing lights that will illuminate when, with motion. And it was, black back there. So I went to the front of the house, and I looked, and no one was home. And I lived with my, 2 brothers and my parents, and like, what? For the house to be black, no lights on? That was really unusual. And I was not in the right frame of mind. Here's Yonge Street, folks. I'm just walking south because I need to get to the top of the hill to get back onto Yonge Street. But anyway, I thought, this is really odd. There's nobody home. Like, there's 5 people that live in this house, and there's nobody home. The house is black, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? So I parked the car in the front, which is what I was not supposed to do, but I was too scared to go to the back. So I parked my car, and then I went to the back, because we always enter through the back door, not the front door. So I walked around the house, and as I was going towards the back and opened up the gate to get into the backyard, to get to the back door, there was the garage facing me. And the garage had 2 windows. So right when you walked to the back to get into the backyard, those 2 windows from the garage were facing me, and they looked like 2 eyes. Because that's what that's what I was thinking at that point, right? I was so scared from this movie. And my brother, no lights on, but my brother had opened up the door for me, and he was standing in the door. So there's a screen door and the big door, and the big door was open, and he was standing where the screen door, the storm door, I guess, was, and he was just standing there. And he was waiting for me. He was going to open the door for me. freaked out because all I saw was Michael Myers. I saw this silhouette of this tall person, which was my brother, but in my mind it was Michael Myers. And I ran back to the car, and I drove to a payphone, and I called my home. Why I thought to do that, I have no idea. Anyhow, I called my home, and my brother answered the phone, and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I saw you, and I was opening the door for you, and then you took off. You didn't come in. Like, what happened?" And I remember saying that I was scared. Anyhow, I explained the whole thing to him, and he just, understood what I said, but, didn't appreciate, I guess, what I was so afraid of. Anyhow. Yeah, so that is my Halloween story. Now, I have seen every Halloween since. Some have been okay, some have been bad. But I am a diehard, so I will continue to watch Halloween, and we are going to watch that as soon as we can. Or not we, David's not interested, but I'm certainly going to watch it. Can't wait to get scared all over again. Anyhow, folks, I am leaving the cemetery. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I bid you adieu, and I will see you in my next video. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.